Have you ever looked back on your life and wished you had known certain things sooner? Maybe you wish you had learned how to manage your emotions better, or how to handle difficult situations with more grace. In this video, we'll explore 5 life lessons that many of us wish we had known sooner, and we'll do it through the lens of Stoicism. Lesson number 1. Happiness is a personal choice. This is a key lesson that we can learn from the philosophy of Stoicism. According to Stoic philosophy, happiness is not something that can be found outside of ourselves, but rather, it is a state of mind that we can choose to cultivate within ourselves. Stoics believe that we have the power to choose our own happiness, regardless of our circumstances. This means that even in the face of adversity, we can choose to focus on the positive aspects of our lives and find happiness in the present moment. One of the key ways that we can cultivate happiness as a personal choice is by practicing gratitude. By focusing on the things that we are grateful for, we can shift our perspective and find happiness in the present moment. We can also choose to let go of negative thoughts and emotions that hold us back from experiencing happiness. Another way that we can cultivate happiness as a personal choice is by focusing on our values and passions. When we align our actions with our values and pursue our passions, we can experience a sense of purpose and fulfillment that leads to greater happiness. Ultimately, the lesson that happiness is a personal choice reminds us that we have the power to choose our own happiness, regardless of our circumstances. By cultivating gratitude, focusing on our values and passions, and letting go of negative thoughts and emotions, we can choose to live happier, more fulfilling lives. One of the best practices that has helped me, and I hope you'll try too, is going outside for 5-10 minutes in the morning after waking up. I had a clear mind and enjoyed the view, expressing gratitude for all the beauty around me, whether it was the trees, the sound of birds, the fresh air I breathed, or the water I could drink. That moment when you are present and enjoying your existence gives you the same energy throughout the day, which is great. Make sure you try this practice for 14 days before saying it doesn't work. If you want more information about this, I recommend the book Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. It can change your life, so make sure to check it out. If you're interested, I'll leave a link below, or you can do a Google search. Lesson number 2. Everything is temporary. This lesson is a powerful reminder that nothing in life is permanent. It is a statement that can evoke a range of emotions, from comfort to fear, depending on how we choose to interpret it. On one hand, the idea that everything is temporary can be comforting. It reminds us that no matter how difficult our current circumstances may be, they will eventually pass. This can be especially helpful during times of stress or uncertainty, as it can provide a sense of hope and perspective. On the other hand, the idea that everything is temporary can also be challenging. It forces us to confront the impermanence of life and the fact that everything we hold dear, our relationships, our possessions, our health, will eventually come to an end. This can be a difficult truth to accept, and it can be tempting to cling to things in an effort to make them last. However, embracing the impermanence of life can also be liberating. When we accept that everything is temporary, we can let go of attachments and expectations and focus on what truly matters in life. We can appreciate the present moment and live our lives to the fullest, knowing that nothing lasts forever. In fact, the impermanence of life can be seen as a gift. It reminds us to cherish the people and experiences that we have in the present moment, rather than taking them for granted. It encourages us to live with intention and purpose, knowing that our time on this earth is limited. Of course, accepting the impermanence of life is not always easy. It can be painful to let go of things that we love, and it can be scary to face the unknown. However, by embracing the impermanence of life, we can cultivate resilience and strength. We can learn to adapt to change and find joy in the present moment, even when things are difficult. Lesson number 3. Life isn't fair. The philosophy of Stoicism offers a unique perspective on the idea that life isn't fair. According to Stoic philosophy, the universe is indifferent to our desires and expectations. It operates according to its own laws, and we must learn to accept and adapt to these laws if we want to live a fulfilling life. In the context of the phrase, life isn't fair, Stoicism teaches us that we should not expect life to be fair. Instead, we should focus on developing our own character and virtues, such as wisdom, courage, and self-control. By cultivating these virtues, we can learn to navigate the challenges and setbacks of life with grace and resilience. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us that we should not be attached to external things, such as wealth, status, or success. These things are outside of our control, and they can be taken away from us at any moment. Instead, we should focus on developing our own inner qualities, such as our integrity, our compassion, and our sense of purpose. In the context of the phrase, "life isn't fair," Stoicism teaches us that we should not be resentful or bitter when things do not go our way. Instead, we should accept the reality of the situation and focus on what we can control. We should strive to be virtuous and to live in accordance with our own values, regardless of the external circumstances. Of course, this is easier said than done. It can be difficult to accept that life isn't fair, especially when we see others around us succeeding while we struggle. However, by embracing the principles of Stoicism, we can learn to cultivate a sense of inner peace and resilience, even in the face of adversity. To be honest, I don't like the mindset of life isn't fair, so there's no point in trying. Instead, I appreciate those who say, life isn't fair, so I'll give it my all to prove that I can succeed. These are two different mentalities, and it's entirely up to you which one you choose. If you want to progress in your goals and live a purposeful life, you'll definitely choose the latter. It's easy to say it's not your fault that you had no choice, but what you need to understand is that it's your responsibility. Even if it's not your fault, you are responsible for how you react to the situation. You can be the person who, after a breakup, turns to drinking, or you can be the one who uses it as fuel to surpass personal records in a sport or anything else. Lesson number 4, being present. The power of being present is a concept that emphasizes the importance of living in the moment and fully engaging with our surroundings. It is about being mindful and aware of our thoughts, feelings, and sensations, without judgment or distraction. Being present can have a profound impact on our lives. When we are fully engaged in the present moment, we are more likely to experience a sense of joy, fulfillment, and connection. We are more attuned to our own needs and desires, and more able to respond to them in a healthy and productive way. Being present can also help us to reduce stress and anxiety. When we are focused on the present moment, we are less likely to worry about the future or dwell on the past. We are more able to let go of negative thoughts and emotions, and to cultivate a sense of inner peace and calm. In addition, being present can improve our relationships with others. When we are fully engaged in the present moment, we are more able to listen to others, to empathize with their experiences, and to respond in a thoughtful and compassionate way. We are more able to connect with others on a deeper level, and to build stronger and more meaningful relationships. Consider the impact when conversing with someone who is completely absent, glued to their phone, lost in thought, without making any eye contact. It's likely you won't experience a strong connection or understanding. On the contrary, think about how pleasant it is to talk to someone genuinely present in the conversation. They maintain eye contact, listen attentively, ask questions, and you can see their facial expressions changing with each emotion. Unfortunately, such conversations are becoming increasingly rare nowadays, mainly due to the daily distractions we're exposed to. Believe me, there are more distractions than you might think, and this has disconnected us from the present moment. As a practical step, sit on a bed or chair and gaze at a wall for 10 minutes without listening to music or any distractions, just you and your thoughts. By doing this exercise, you'll realize the severity of the situation. The fact that you can't endure 10 minutes in silence with your own thoughts should be motivation enough to change this situation. The most effective tool for change will be meditation. Lesson number 5. Pleasure is not happiness. Pleasure and happiness are often used interchangeably, but they are not the same thing. Pleasure is a temporary feeling of enjoyment or satisfaction that comes from external sources, such as food, sex, or entertainment. Happiness, on the other hand, is a more enduring state of well-being that comes from within. While pleasure can be enjoyable in the moment, it is often fleeting and can lead to negative consequences in the long run. For example, overindulging in food or alcohol may feel pleasurable at the time, but it can lead to health problems and other negative consequences. Similarly, seeking pleasure through material possessions or status can lead to a never-ending cycle of wanting more, which can ultimately lead to dissatisfaction and unhappiness. Happiness, on the other hand, is a more enduring state of well-being that comes from within. It is not dependent on external circumstances or material possessions, but rather on our own internal state of mind. Happiness is often associated with a sense of purpose, meaning, and connection to others. Research has shown that people who prioritize happiness over pleasure tend to have better mental and physical health, stronger relationships, and a greater sense of overall well-being. They are more likely to engage in activities that promote long-term happiness, such as spending time with loved ones, pursuing meaningful work, and engaging in hobbies and interests that bring them joy. Of course, this is not to say that pleasure is inherently bad or that we should avoid it altogether. Pleasure can be a healthy and enjoyable part of life, as long as it is balanced with other sources of happiness and well-being. The key is to recognize that pleasure is not the same thing as happiness, and to prioritize the things that truly bring us lasting joy and fulfillment. We've all fallen into this trap. For me, the secret is to live a purposeful life. If you have a purpose in life and your actions align with it, you're already ahead of many people. Spend some time alone, contemplate your current purpose. Once you find it, align your entire life with it, and you will find fulfillment. Make sure to use the information from this video in your own life. And if you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing to our channel for more content like this.